Let's take a look at a couple different ways that you can approach this. Okay? Often with these types of proofs, building backwards is a helpful strategy. So in order for us to show that A, B, and CD are parallel, again, we have one of those four patterns: SSI, AIA, AEA, or CA. Okay? The fact that I have this angle right here and it's in the exterior of my two lines that I'm looking to show are parallel, I'm probably going to use either CA or AEA. So those are the two I'm going to consider. Could I use CA? So could I show that this angle and this angle are equal? Well, if I know that these lines are parallel, these two are corresponding angles also, then these two would be corresponding angles. So I can use that route. Okay, what about, so there's no need to check it. If you find one that works, you can go ahead and work through it. But what if we did a IA? Is there a way that I can show that these two are equal? Well, if these lines are parallel, are these two angles equal also? Yeah. So we could either use AIA and then AEA, or we can use CA and then CA. I'm going to show you both here really quickly. So let's say we did this method. So we worked backwards and we found if we can show this angle, which actually doesn't have a name, so I would have to, I'll just give it a number. I'll call it 1. Okay? And you can do that if you are working with proofs. Okay? If you can insert something to make it easier to write. So you could have inserted numbers in here as well. Okay, but if we call this angle 1, we know that the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle BEF. And we know that because these lines are parallel. What type of angles are those? Alternate interior angles. So if lines are parallel, alternate interior angles are equal. We could then make the claim that we have two things that are equal to the same thing. Therefore, they're equal to each other. Okay? And actually, let me go back. I'm just going to use congruence here instead of equality. So angle 1 is congruent to angle BEF. We can now say, since two things are equal to the same thing, they're equal to each other. So we could say that angle 1 is congruent to angle DCG. Okay? And that would be based on transitive property. And then we go down to our final step here. Now we have this angle equal to this angle. Those are alternate exterior angles. Therefore, if they're equal, lines are parallel. Since we found them to be equal, AB can now be said parallel to DC by AEA. Okay. Again, the other possibility on this would be, and I'll put it in parentheses in each of these, we could have said that these two angles are equal first. So we could have said that working with congruence, we could have said that angle ABC is congruent to angle BEF. That's a relationship of corresponding angles. So these two angles are equal to each other. Now we can say that this angle and this angle are therefore equal. Again, same concept, transitive property. Angle ABC, not only is it congruent to BEF, but since BEF is congruent to DCG, we can make that statement, which would still be transitive property. And then our final relationship would still be the lines are parallel. But this time the corresponding angles would be our justification for that. Okay. So those would be your options. Okay. So either what's written in the top or what's written in the highlighted section.